So one of the other things that you mentioned is that drugs and alcohol were kind of a thing that you had suffered from. When did those start to play a role in your life? Because from most of the people who I know because I used to work with a lot of
Yeah.
drug addicts actually when I used to work in mental health, and a very common age was between 12 and 16.
Yeah, I think I was like 12 or 13 when I first started picking up weed. And obviously weed is not really like if you do your research on it, it's not super
Yeah,
harmful drug. It's definitely not good to be taken when you're that young and your mind's
yeah.
not developed and stuff.
It
But it
has
was
more to
what
do with the age that I worry about
yeah,
weed than anything else because you shouldn't be altering your brain chemistry at the age of 12.
definitely not. But for me it was a way out of all the shit and like even my parents don't know the age I started, so this is really a first in
Yeah.
many ways. Sorry, mom. Sorry, dad. When you watch this will be a laugh because they
What
follow
was
everything I
the
do.
first time? How did you get into it? Because I don't think a lot of
Oh,
people
just
would realize.
so like I was selling drugs at the time between when I was 11 and 13, and that was
How
very
do you get
common for
involved
like
in that though? Is it like one day someone comes up like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" Like, I feel like that's a process to get into. It's not like one day you just.
we just kind of went out for it. Like it was a way of making your own money. When you come from poverty, you want to find your own way. You're not getting pocket money as much. Like I was lucky, I did get a bit of pocket money, but
Yeah.
like I was like, oh, cool, this is going to be probably the best way that I can actually find a way out of this stuff and live like these other kids, right? Because at that age, you're also dumb as a kid, and I'm thinking like all these other kids I was going to school with, they got all this flash stuff. Maybe they'll accept me if I'm like wearing this and that, and buying these things, or I have respect and power. But even that didn't work out. So like I only did it for a few years, and I was very lucky because the dealers that kind of accepted me, and when I say I was selling drugs, it wasn't in a sense that I was actually passing it on to other people. Basically, the police would not stop kids as often, right? So when
Yeah.
you're that young and you're that little, I used to just basically get given a backpack. It would have some money in it, or it would have some drugs in it, and you'd cycle to one location to another, drop it off to the people, and then come back. 'Cause obviously, they're looking for the proper dealers. They're looking to get them with everything. So just running it back and forward. You were then part of a crew. You had people that looked after you. It also meant that school people were obviously there was times where I'm bringing people down from where I used to live to really make a ruckus to the school kids because they couldn't handle that. And that was the other thing. That was where I had the power. And that's where I really got addicted to like that kind of level of power and respect because yeah, you can fuck with me on my own, but you're not gonna mess with these guys because they're there's a whole nother level of stuff they're doing. And these guys have never even seen this type of lifestyle. So it's very bad. And when I look at it now, it's like, whoa, I should have never done that. But I remember one guy, and I've said I'm not going to name him for obvious reasons, but he was one of the head guys at the time. And he basically turned around and he was like, look, you're doing all this gaming stuff. And like, I was starting to go to events and things. And he's like, I'm literally going to pay you, obviously not as much as what I'm paying you, but I'm going to give you money. And you just stay at home and play your games. Like you can hang with us and stuff, but he's like, you're not doing this stuff anymore. Because he's like, at the time, these kind of drug dealers compared to the idiots you have now, and this is another thing of like media and following videos like this. I love rap music and hip hop and stuff, but there is definitely some music that has a whole lot of negative way of talking about this life rather than a more positive way or explaining how they got out. And these guys at the time were definitely trying to make the drugs to buy a house, to have a car, and then get the hell out, try and better themselves, even put themselves through courses and stuff. Now, that's definitely not every drug dealer. Some people are just going in for it like, oh, we're going to make loads of money doing this and then end up in jail. But
Yeah.
like the guy that said to me was just like, look, this gaming stuff's actually doing something for you. Like there's people that want to pay for you to go to these events. He's like, I don't understand it. He goes, I don't even like own a console or anything. I'm like, yeah, I play PC. And he just turned around and was like, look, I can give you some money and like we're all cool, we'll keep looking after you. He's like, you should probably follow this stuff. So that was my real focus on to be like, okay, cool, like I'm gonna get given money and I get to play games. And then I even went and picked up a paper round. I did a paper round from when I was 12 until I was 16, maybe 17, and that was like every morning getting up at like 5:30 a.m, going to pick up the papers, delivering the papers everywhere, and just trying to earn a little bit more money. So again, I think that comes from like the grafting of my dad, for example, just like rubbing off on me and what I thought was the way I'd just try and keep that hard work ethic.
Hello, everyone. This has been a highlight clip from the Minds of Media. If you've enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube and join my Discord in order to be involved with the community. Thank you.